So you feel like someone has completed their own healing, and you're still in your healing phase? Is that what you think? Is that how you believe to be true? Or is that how you are perceiving right now? Whatever it is. The thing is, if someone is on earth right now at this time, they're going through some sort of whatever that they have to deal with energetically. We call it healing at this time. It doesn't matter all this, I don't know, gurus, so-called, or spiritual teachers, so-called, spiritual, I don't know, psychic readers with special gifts and talents, whatever. We use special. Why? Because it's comparison. The basis of it is comparison, that someone has more special gift than you. So you start to feel like you're inferior. You start to compare. Why? Because society has been programming you ever since you were born. And so you're like, well, that person seems to have more special gift than me. And some internalize it, and then they will like, shit, I don't have that, and go into self-pity. The others, who are more fiery, they're going to be like, shit, they got it. I want to compete with them. But first, I'm going to fucking hate them. Why? Because to fight, I got to make up my fucking enemy. I got to charge up myself with those duality perspectives of good and bad, and that person is something that I need to tackle, overcome, and then win over, in order to fucking survive, be the winner, and be the top, and whatever. Like, the different ways a person will play out based on the unique personality imprints they chose to come in. That is tied to all the other karmic imprints. And that's the purpose. If you look at all your astrological charts, or, the so-called 4-pillar destiny charts in, Asia that's developed in China, it's all fucking based on that. You come in here with some sort of like this blueprint, right? Specific, strength and weaknesses and personality types and what's highlighted and what's not. All of that, major themes. But you just gotta remember that whatever it is, everyone's fucking going through something. Even though they may present themselves as, I'm under control of everything, I got rid of everything, I got no fucking problems, so I'm just teaching people everything. Well, they may be living with the pressure to have a certain image for the society as an authority or whatever. That's also part of the karmic imprints that they need to deal with. So it's not a job to judge them or judge these or criticize, but just to understand from a bigger standpoint that everyone's going through it. But that doesn't mean that they can't help other people, because they have certain wisdom and life experiences where they can be of support and help to each other. That's how Earth Game works at this time. So you don't gotta be perfect. You don't need to appear perfect. You don't need to look perfect. So all we are working on is to be who we are as we are, taking off all those pressures that we've been carrying in ourselves from our ancestors, your bloodline, however you resonate with terms, right? It's all stored in the physical body as information, as memories. This fucking nose, carries so many memories of this bloodline. You know what I mean? That's why you chose certain ethnicity. You chose to be like half Asian, half Caucasian, whatever. There's a special, or I would say unique purpose to it. The word special can misguide people on a subconscious level, because everybody is special. You know what I mean? Your gift is incomparable. Your talent is incomparable. But you've been criticized ever since you were in school. You've been graded. You've been judged ever since preschool, and even before that, if it was your parents. You know what I mean? Because they're not perfect either. They may carry certain things. And so, you took that on. That's the earth vibration at this time. So, you're going to start to compare and feel like, I may be missing something. I may not be as talented as they are. You see, when you're in comparison, you will always feel like you're inferior or superior. But when you're not comparing and going in and start honoring, discovering yourself, you're going to start to discover a whole new world inside of you, just like that Aladdin song, a whole new world. You don't have to go fucking outside of yourself to discover the whole new world. You can start within yourself. Every day is going to be a new fucking discovery day. Because why? You're constantly evolving. The constant change in life. So, go in, look at yourself, start to honor yourself. All those things that a lot of people say over and over, right? And the thing is, you got to stop comparing. And it's going to take a while, I'm telling you, because it's deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind. But we have the power of awareness. So you can be aware whenever you are comparing, whenever you are feeling like you need to compete, whenever you are feeling triggered unknowingly, and start to hate someone. You could be triggered, just like, ooh, I don't like that person, and you start criticizing. It's called trigger, and you got to look at those emotions. And your power of awareness, that innate ability within you, is operating. Everybody has it. So, at times it's going to be hard to believe, because if you've been under a lot of criticism, including your own self-criticism later on in life, you're going to be like, I don't fucking believe what they say. They can tell me to honor my feelings. They can tell me to love myself, but I can't. You know what I mean? It's like, what do they mean by that? Nothing's changing in my life. You can become cynical, but that's your choice. The awakening begins when you start to awaken to observe your own avatar reacting and seeing yourself. Oh, damn. I'm fucking playing this out. Oh, damn. I'm fucking playing that out. Oh, damn. I'm fucking doing this. And you're just going to sit with those emotions and then start to explore. Why am I comparing in this moment? Why am I start to feel this trigger of hate for no reason towards someone? Or why do I feel like, I don't believe these things is possible for me? And it's going to make you uncomfortable. And when you begin to be more aware of yourself, you're going to be more like, well, it's my fucking fault. It's my fucking fault. Someone can go into deep self-guilt. But that's an emotion that you also need to work through, that's connected to your karmic imprint. If you start to be more aware, you're going to realize all the things that you've done as well. You're going to be a victim, thinking, believing, only perceiving from one-sided view that they have done you harm. But now you're going to see like, well, also there were times that I played this role. I put on a mask. I was people-pleasing. I was not myself. I was deceiving. I was playing all the shit that I'm talking about other people. And you're like, shit, I'm so fucking bad too. But that's a part of the game that you must go through. That's the deep darkness. But in that, you start to what? Be reborn, because it's a part of shedding process of all those layers that blocked you from your authentic self. You had to put on those, I don't know, you could call it clothes, mask, however you resonate with these terms. So that you're going to take off those one by one. And in the meantime, whenever you feel like you were not being honest with others or yourself, and you start to discover the whole shit, meaning shadow, then what are you going to do? You're not going to escape, or you're not going to go into duality. You're going to embrace all emotions. You're going to say, thank you for these emotions for showing up in my life and to me as divine messengers and information for me to what? Free myself. That those were necessary. And now, what am I going to do is the key. You're not going to start to continue to identify with those emotions. Start digging in and in and in and in and into the shadow. Instead, you're going to say, now I have shed light onto them shadow. I'm going to fucking transform them into light. And to transform them into light, what are you going to do? You're going to choose different. You're going to move different. We call that vibration, in a different direction. So instead of criticizing and judging yourself with all the self-guilt that now you are facing, you're going to be like, I embrace them. I recognize them. I accept them. And I understand why it had to happen the way it did. You start to understand the purpose. You know what I mean? That's higher perspective. Understanding the purpose of every fucking emotion. And then you're going to be able to love them all. And you're fucking freed. So that's how you can start. Peace.